What up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I'm super excited. Sorry, I'm adjusting things. We have some mountain people problems that keep stalling. Issa, you're going to have to turn that off, babe. Bobo, turn it off. We can't seem to run multiple devices at the same time up here lately. That's what we get for living in the mountains. But welcome to our kids class. We are so excited to talk about this topic because this is the whole reason I got started in this lifestyle. So if you're joining live, give me a comment, let me know you're here. And you can also jump in, ask questions anytime throughout as we're talking. So make sure if anything is coming up or you want some clarification or have a question, just type in the chat or in the comments. I mean, this isn't Zoom. And we will get those answered. If you are catching us on the replay, let us know that you are here with a comment with hashtag replay so we can show you some love. And if you have questions, if you're watching the replay, feel free and I will go back and answer them as we get the comments coming in. So we're talking kids' immune system. This time of year, we always tend to hype up all of our talk. Hey, Victoria. Hey, Jade. Thanks for jumping on live. We are talking immune systems because as mamas, we know we don't like sick kids. It is not fun for anybody, the kids included, mamas included. It makes us exhausted. We don't get any sleep or any more sleep than we don't tend to normally get, depending on how old your little ones are. But we just want to do anything possible in our realm to keep them as healthy as possible. But if you guys are like us, until I had children, I had no idea about this lifestyle that we are living. I didn't know there were things that depleted your immune system or that could boost your immune system. And I sure as heck was not implementing much of anything or focusing on any of it at all because I didn't even know most of it existed. So we started our journey into this lifestyle about 8 years ago. That's crazy to say. My oldest is what got us started into this journey when I got pregnant with her, and she'll be 8 at the end of October. So it's officially been 8 years. But when you go to the doctor's office, right, when you're pregnant, they give you this giant list of all of this stuff you cannot eat, you cannot drink, you cannot wash your face with, you can't do this, and this. But they don't really give you an explanation as to why. And my personality, I'm not just going to take your word for it. I need to know why. So I went and started researching. And what I found was disgusting. I was totally mad at all of the things I started to find. And we vowed that we were not going to let this crap back in our house because what this stuff does is it not only harms baby in utero, that's why they tell you not to do it when you're pregnant, but you should also not put on most of these products when you're not pregnant because it drastically affects your health. Many of the ingredients, we have a whole other class on that, but this is just what got us started looking into this because these ingredients can give you cancer, they disrupt your hormones, your sleep cycles, all of this stuff. And I was having a ton of health issues on top of being pregnant, and I have my whole life that nobody could really ever figure out. So we started going non-toxic, and once you start into that journey of ingredient reading and focusing on more healthy alternatives, it just takes you down this rabbit hole of never ending because we're still finding out new things to this day of new ways of things to shift and implement and how to better affect our family and our health. So that's kind of how we got started in this journey. And then I got invited to an intro class for essential oils. Kind of like this one, but it was just your basic intro, not to kids. And I was just like, how the heck have I not known about this for the last couple of years? I was using essential oils in my homemade diaper creams, but it was nothing therapeutic and nothing I should actually have been putting on my kids. And I was just in love, started sharing, bringing people to classes, but didn't know it could actually be a business. And now I've been running this as my home business alongside my kids, which they always pop in because they're here. We homeschool, so we don't actually technically start school like everybody else does right now, but they usually pop in on these videos here and there to show their cute little faces. But they're used to running alongside mom, teaching these classes and helping educate, because my oldest could teach most of these classes because she's heard them enough, which is super awesome. Hey, Lindsay, thanks for jumping on, girl. I hope your day's going better. So we're going to get started. We're talking immune system today, and this back to school is when the petri dishes of little people and little fingers and the passing of germs just seems to start spreading. We know it increases as the winter months come on because everyone's enclosed and breathing each other's air, and has nothing to do with the cold outside, unlike the wives' tales of that's what makes you sick. But we are totally in the mode of, okay, let's start boosting the immune system. We're going to be around a ton of people in enclosed spaces, sharing things, touching things, especially if your kids are in public school, when they're confined into that room and one kid shows up sick, coughs, touches all the things, like it just passes drastically fast. And same with a lot of people in their home. My kids, we've lived this lifestyle our whole life, so we are really blessed that our kids had not had like common cold issues. We have a lot of other health issues that we deal with and use essential oils and all these products for, but we haven't had that constant battle I watch so many of my mom friends struggle with. One kid gets it, mom gets it, dad gets it, the next kid gets it, and then they just keep cycling this stuff throughout the house, and everyone is constantly sick. But that doesn't have to be reality. That doesn't have to be your life, because there are amazing tools out there to keep your immune system fighting so it can naturally fight off the things that you come into contact with. So we don't worry about when we go into public, because we have our essential oils on. We do these protocols every day to make sure that my kids' bodies are fighting and strong alongside mine. So we don't, and I'm a total germ freak. For those of you who know me personally, you know I am a complete germ freak. So I still thieves spray all of the things, because that's just kind of what goes through my head. But we always, well, and we're going to talk about thieves in a little bit for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about when I say thieves. But we do all of these things, and I want to share them with all of the moms, because I want to give you the peace of mind that we can do all these things inside of our home. Yes, there are reasons you need to go to the doctor, but those common co-pays everyone gets over these next 6 months can be avoided, because you are going to have tools at home to take care of your family. So we're going to focus on a couple things. We're going to talk about stress, nutrition, what you should and shouldn't be eating, sleep, and just some basic essential oils and products that are going to boost your immune system, and some tips and tricks along the way. So let's just get started with a healthy immune system. So kids are gross, right? It's terrible to say, but kids are gross. If they have a runny nose, if they're coughing, they're coughing on their hand, they're touching all the stuff, they're touching your face. If your kids are like mine, they've coughed in my face, in my mouth multiple times. So there is no, I told you they would make an appearance. There is no escaping the germs. So we have to prepare ourselves and our bodies for what we are going to be constantly exposed to. A huge, huge, huge part of our immune system is our gut. A majority of our immune sits in our gut. So when your gut health is off, your immune system is suppressed. When your immune system is suppressed, you can't fight off fungus, viruses, bacteria, and all the stuff that you get exposed to. So if Victoria says hi, she saw your cute little face. They're still in their pajamas. We've had a long day. We were at Elitch's all day yesterday. I'm only dressed from the top up, so I look cute up here. In the bottom, I'm still in my pajamas. It's the beauty of working at home. But your gut health is huge. So our lifestyle in America tends to just flatten our gut health. That is one of the major problems in our house that we have been focused on for the last like 5.5 years, is getting our gut health on track, because we have some severe health problems that have come from it. And it's because our lifestyle in America just is not conducive to good gut health. So if you've ever taken antibiotics, if you've ever taken over-counter the medications, if you've ever eaten anything with a preservative in it, you're stressed, all of these things can contribute to your gut health, because there's something called your gut-brain connection. And when one is off, the other can be off. So these are things to be mindful of. If you're stressed out or your kids are stressed out, it can totally affect their gut and totally affect their overall immune system. So we take things like probiotics. A probiotic is a necessity for every single person on this planet, for all the reasons I have said, because our body cannot naturally reproduce majority of the good gut bacteria that we have killed off. So we have to replace it, and you have to replace it with a good probiotic. There's a ton of them out there on the market. Everything we're talking about today is Young Living, and I'm going to emphasize this especially when I'm starting to talk essential oils. If you have products at home that align with some of these other things I'm talking about, awesome, take them. But there is a Young Living difference. Young Living essential oils are therapeutic grade, which means we get to ingest them, we get to put them on our bodies. Most essential oil companies out there, and the ones I had in my home before, are not for anything but putting in a diffuser for smelling good. They are not distilled properly to be able to ingest or topically put on your body, because they don't have what we call chemical constituents. Those are the properties of essential oils that make them actually benefit your health. If you do not distill them right, all of those constituents get destroyed, and you just basically have something that smells really, really nice. So focus on your gut health. Get a probiotic. So for kids, Young Living has an amazing probiotic. Most kids can't take pills, especially if they're really little, and you can start probiotics anytime. In babies, you just have to have a smaller amount. They don't need the full amount. No, stop.
She gets one and I don't.
These kids, I told you, they always interrupt. Over here asking me for candy at 10:45 in the morning.
She gets one of these.
They're crazy. They try to take advantage when mommy is working sometimes. So probiotic for infant, it's the same thing. So we have a Mighty Pro for Young Living, and it's a powder. So it is phenomenal for kids. They flavored it with some essential oils and natural products that make it taste amazing. My kids actually call it candy because it tastes like a pixie stick. But it's completely all natural, non-toxic, but it has a prebiotic and a probiotic. And so if you don't know anything about pre and pro, prebiotic is the food to the good flora already in your stomach. So it is going to massively increase what's already in your gut by the millions, while giving you more and different strains that your body needs to give your gut the boosted health that it needs. When it's for really, really little kids, we just tell you to start out small, like give a quarter of a packet. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, and I need to preface that. So I'm not diagnosing you or treating you or giving you health advice, anything besides what my family has done and what we have seen results for. So start small. See how much they need, because everyone is different, and based on your gut needs, some people, like my oldest daughter, has to take 2 packets a day. She takes 1 in the morning and 1 at night, because something has shifted in her gut health that it's making her face have all of these little rashy bump things. They look kind of like hives, but they're not hives because she's not having an allergic reaction. But these are the kind of things that show that our gut health is off. Your body gets inflamed, you get depressed, you get anxious, you have random rashes, your stomach hurts, you have food intolerances, whole long list of things. But just know, 99% of you out there, unless you've been working on your gut health, need to be working on your gut health. So mama and children need to be taking a good probiotic. We have Life 9 for adults, which is a pill, but a lot of adults take Mighty Pro because it has the prebiotic and it's super easy to take. And if y'all are like me, I don't like swallowing pills. So the less I have to swallow, the better for me. Yeah, see, Victoria says, I take them too. Adults love them, kids love them. They taste super delicious and they're convenient. Just pop it in your mouth and go. No worrying about anything. So get you and your kids' gut health on point. You can also introduce things that have natural probiotics on top of taking Mighty Pro or Life 9. And that is things that are fermented. If you have a histamine issue like we do, we can't take high or long fermented foods because the histamines build, but most of you out there can take it. So organic sauerkraut, anything that's like pickled, right? Kombucha, if you can tolerate that, start small. Most people at first can't drink like straight up kombucha because it's pretty pungent, but it's so good for your health and your immune system and your gut health. So get adapted to these things. I always tell people these things take an acquired taste, and most adults out there drink alcohol, right? None of us liked it to begin with. There's a few people who did. But you continue to drink it because you like the way it made you feel. All of these things aren't going to taste on your palate at first, especially if you don't already live and eat a healthy lifestyle. So you just have to work your way into it, and then you'll get used to it, and then it will be fine. So give your body a chance to adapt to it. So let's talk about essential oils for your immune system. There are massive amounts of essential oils for your immune system. We are only going to cover a few of them in this class because we could sit here forever. But especially for kids. So when we are putting essential oils on children, they always need to be diluted, especially if you are new to essential oil use. Your body doesn't always know what to do with the essential oils. We innately know our bodies were made to use plants as medicine. That's why plants were put on this earth. But in Western culture, we have got so far away from this lifestyle that a lot of people are like, their bodies are like, what is that? What are you putting on me? I don't remember what to do with that. So it takes it a minute to be like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do with this, and this is where I need to put this. You also need to dilute because they are a volatile liquid, is what we call an essential oil. That means it is easily dispersed and it is very potent. So for little bodies, they need way less essential oil than we do. So we dilute it out with a carrier oil. Young Living has a beautiful carrier oil called V6 if you're not an allergy house. We are, so we don't use it because it has almond oil in it. We use jojoba, which is jojoba if you're going to go look for it, Jojoba, jojoba, because this one mimics the skin oils in the human body the most. So it won't make you greasy, and it feels beautiful and actually is a good benefit to your skin on top of it. Some people use coconut oil, but a lot of people break out from coconut oil, so just be mindful of that. So always dilute. I have a nursery sheet if you have little ones and you want that dilution chart that we have for the nursery. That means little kids like 3 and under. Shoot me a comment and say, send me the nursery, and I will send that over to you after this class because it's a great way to get started. So everybody's body is different, children included. There are a lot of oils to this day I still dilute on my kids, and a lot of them I don't. My kids have literally, my youngest was like 6 months old when we started using essential oils. So she's literally grown up in this lifestyle. So her body is used to it, but she also has really sensitive skin. So that is another reason that we dilute some essential oils, because some of them are really hot, is what we call them. I compare it to the equivalent of chopping jalapenos or green chilies without gloves on, and you feel that like burning in your hands. That is the same thing that some essential oils feel. So some of the ones we're going to talk about today are hot. So we definitely need to be mindful of that when we're putting that on our children. And a lot of times for kids, the easiest way to put essential oils on them is to throw it on their feet. So we have roller balls for everything diluted out for kids specifically, and we just roll it on the bottom of their feet. So for those of you who are new to essential oils, you're like, why the heck are you putting it on the bottom of their feet? So there's something called VitaFlex points. The palms of our hands, the bottom of our feet, down the back of our spine, all mimic some point of our body. So all of our organs, all of the different places have a point in which you can apply essential oils there, and it gets to that system instead of like trying to get to your liver and you're going topically over the outside, you would just put it on your feet. But for children don't like to sit still. So we just tell them, we always have throw up your feet, roll it on, make them count to 30, gets them, to count faster as young children. And then they can just be on their way and get up and go run around. You don't have to worry about their wiggly little bodies or them getting it on their hand and rubbing it on their face or whatever. So feet is the best way to go, especially as you're starting out and the younger that the kids are. So let's talk about specific oils. The number one oil we use in this house for immune support is thieves. You heard me mention that a little bit ago. Thieves is one of our most favorite essential oils because it does so many amazing things for your immune system. So anything that doesn't sound like a plant, like thieves is not the name of a plant. That means we have multiple different essential oils in there. So it has clove, it has cinnamon, and that's what makes this one hot. It has cinnamon in it, so it makes it a little warm to the skin. So a lot of children need this one pretty heavily diluted to put it on their bodies. I'm used to it and I don't have sensitive skin, so I literally don't even dilute thieves to put it on myself. So you'll get to know your body and your kids' bodies. I'm drinking my fizzy water because I'm obsessed with fizzy water right now. This is a new brand. Not sure I love it. It was on sale, so I tried it. Anyway, squirrel moment. We're back. So we don't leave thieves, or we don't leave the house without thieves on, pretty much ever. We rotate between thieves and raven because you shouldn't use the same essential oil every single day. But we put it on our feet. We all have necklaces. I literally wear this necklace every day. It's a little locket that you can put essential oils in. I also have a roller ball in my purse that if we forget before we leave the house, it's already pre-diluted. So the kids, Young Living actually makes a roller ball now, which is really nice. But for some kids, it's still not diluted enough. It's a little too hot for them. So we just roll it on our neck, on the back of our neck. It makes this nice little bubble around your head. It smells amazing. It smells like Christmas. Oh my gosh. It is one of my most favorite oils. So if your kids are old enough to drink drinks, this is also one we use when we feel like something is coming on. Your body knows and gives you signs of when it's starting to fight something off. And for our kids, it's usually they get a little cranky, they're super tired, and you can just feel that they're a little off. That means their body is usually fighting off something physically or emotionally, and oils support all the things. So put an oil on them. But we drink thieves tea, and I think I started this with my girls when they were like probably 3 years old. I just make a big cup and I give them a little bit. So it's just hot water, honey. We use Manuka honey. Whole other class, whole other topic. Go Google that if you don't know what it is. And then we put thieves, lemon, peppermint, and frankincense essential oils and drink that up. It is just a power kick to your immune system and just also tastes amazing. So we drink it all the time, even when we're not feeling those things coming on. So a couple ways to use thieves. And for those of you who send your kids to public school, you can put jewelry on them. Not all schools will let you send a roller ball to school with them. Just test it out, see what the teacher says. But a lot of people put it on before. They put it in their lunchbox so they can put it on again. But you can buy jewelry for girls or boys. They make these like leather band bracelets that come in very masculine ways, so boys will actually wear them. And you can just put essential oils on there to help them get that diffused in that essential oil with them all day long as they are at school, and then eventually teach them to put it on by themselves. You can get some of these things into the classrooms. It just depends on where you live, what your school system, what the teacher says, what the principal says, because there's no actual state laws to it. It's basically preference of who's in the classroom. So I already mentioned we put frankincense in our thieves tea, but frankincense is another one, especially if you have little ones. Some essential oils moms choose to stay away from for 3, 2 and younger because there have been some, but there's some studies out there that say there's been adverse reactions, but they don't tell you the purity of the essential oil or where it came from. So I tell moms to use their intuition. Our mom gut is strong. If you don't know how to use that and rely on that yet, I suggest you learn to cultivate that, because when your mom gut tells you something is on or something is off, it is 99% of the time 100% on point for what your kids need and what they are going through. So if you pick up an essential oil and you're like, oh, I don't know if I really want to put this on my kid, don't. There is another essential oil you can use instead of. Use that intuition and just know, okay, maybe in a couple months I'll try this one again. Maybe I'll feel a little bit differently. Maybe you need to talk to someone like me and figure out why you're feeling that way. Whatever that looks like. Frankincense is a really, really good one for small children because it doesn't have any studies against it on adverse reactions on small children, and it is just, I call it baby Jesus oil, because for those of you who are Christian, you know it was given to Jesus as a baby. But it is just so good for your immune system, and it's good for sleep. It just helps the overall body and all of its systems just be relaxed and on point. So this is an awesome one for little kids. So is lavender. Lavender is another one that you can put on from the time that they are born. Some people still choose to dilute lavender because, again, it is still really strong and dependent on the age of your child. Lavender is also really good for the immune system. It's good for their sinuses. It's good for their lungs. So that's a great one to have on hand. Again, in roller balls, we're going to talk about sleep support in a little bit, but it's real good for that too. As you'll see, a lot of these essential oils have multiple uses. We're going to go over a lot of things that aren't essential oils, but we're just hitting on these right now. Another amazing one we do not go without this time of year, or really ever, is called Raven. I call it thieves on steroids. So when our immune system is needing that real big backup push and thieves just doesn't feel like it's doing the trick, we go to Raven. It's also really good for lung support. This is one that moms with 3 and younger sometimes stay away from because it has eucalyptus in it. Whether you want to put it on your kid is totally up to you. It's been on my youngest since she was 6 months old. So totally mom's choice. But this one supports the lungs, and we know as this season progresses, there are lots of needs for lung and sinus support as well as major immunity support. And this one smells awesome. This one smells so good. This is one of the few that Young Living has that has a childproof cap on it because it smells so stinking good. So again, you roll it on your feet, put it on your chest, put it on the diffuser. Okay. Stop interrupting. And then another one is lemon. So lemon is helpful so we're on Facebook Live, so I have to be compliant, which means I can't treat, diagnose, cure, or use any system medical terms. So lemon is just real good for your immune system. For one, I put it in that Thieves Tea I was telling you about, but it has the ability to support support loosening of things in your lungs and your sinuses. I think that's a good compliant way to say that. We can have a conversation off of Facebook if we need to clarify that a little more. So that is also another one that is really good for small children. Needs diluted, and you need to stay out of the sun with this one because it is photosensitive, which means if you put it on your skin, and then say you put like a drop right here, and then you go walk outside and the sun hits that, it's actually going to take the pigment out of that spot of your skin, which we all know from when we were younger. All the blonde girls like to put lemon in their hair, right? Same goes for citrus essential oils. So be mindful of that. Put it on their feet, or just use it at nighttime, or don't go in the sun when you are using lemon essential oil. It's also really good for your liver. So we have a vitality version you can consume, and when you're going through some things, your liver needs supported, and just drink lots and lots of lemon water. It's fantastic, and it feels really nice on your throat. Oh, I didn't mention that one before. For throat support, we put thieves and a drop of lemon on a spoon of honey and eat it, and it feels amazing. So those are some of the basics we use. Oh, and digest. Don't let me forget digest. So digest is for your digestion. So it's good for any kind of tummy troubles. But again, when your gut is on point, so is your immune system. So put digest on a ton. Put it on when you're having tummy issues, but put it on a lot when you're not, because it's going to support an overall healthy digestive system. There are also some other ones that we use. Again, we could go on and on. I'm not going to go over in detail of these. There's oregano, there's RC, there's MU Power. We have a whole kids line, so we use Sniffle Ease a lot. That means it's diluted and it's essential oils made specifically for kids. Another one is Purification, great for small babies because it is just has all the right things that the little ones need for their immune system to stay on point. So that's just some essential oils for healthy immune support. I hope you're taking notes because I know that was a lot. Now we're going to talk about things we can consume to keep our immune system on point, and that's fish oil or flax oil. So fish oil, most people have heard, right? Omega-3s are super good for your body. It's good for your brain, it's good for your joints, it's good for your immune system. Some people are vegan or allergic to fish, so you can take flaxseed oil instead. For Young Living people, we take Omega-Gize. Omega-Gize has your full daily dose of vitamin D, which we also need for our immune system. A lot of people are like, I'm fine, I go outside. Not the case. If you put any kind of lotion, sunscreen on, you don't absorb. A lot of people have a genetic mutation that we are not absorbing vitamin D and processing it correctly. So we have to pair it with some other things and take mass supplements for it. So let me back up for a second. Some people are like, oh, I eat a healthy diet. It's total, I don't need supplements. But in reality, you do, because what our food system has become in America is disgusting. How much we have genetically modified things and modified them to withstand hailstorms, bugs, pesticides, whatever it is, they never took into account the nutrients. So when they were genetically modifying a lot of our food, they were making it strong and hardy versus these other things, but we're taking out a lot of the benefits of what we needed in our food. So we need to supplement, because there's just not enough food you can consume to get the amount of some of these things that we need. And fish is a whole other level. Most of it's contaminated with mercury. Young Living specifically seeks out and tests and makes sure it's not contaminated, because we have something called seed to seal, which means we test every essential oil, every product, everything that goes into one of our products with all of the scientific equipment, mass spectrometers, all of these things I can't remember the names of because I'm not a scientist, to make sure none of them are contaminated or polluted, so that we are not putting anything harmful into our body as we are consuming these products to increase our health. So for those of you in Young Living, you should be taking Omega-Gize. And again, it is a pill. So for the little ones, you can sneak it into things. It does not taste good if you open it. So for the little ones, I would just go with flaxseed oil if they're not allergic, and just throw that in their smoothies or whatever. We do that every day. We put flax meal and flax oil in all kinds of our foods to make sure we are getting enough of our omegas, because we don't eat fish in this house because I'm allergic. So again, you'll hear lots of food allergy things as we keep talking if you don't quite know our life by now. We already talked about probiotics. That is a must. Life9 or Mighty Pro, get your immune system up. In greens. So most children, and really in reality most adults, do not eat the amount of greens and vegetables that they should in a day. And again, they are less potent than they used to be. They have a very depleted amount of the minerals and vitamins that they used to, because of the things that we have done to them. So I'm trying to remember the statistic I read. Okay, I just found it. They tested in 1999 43 different vegetables and fruits, seeing significant declines in their protein, calcium, phosphorus, iron, vitamin Bs, and vitamin Cs that have drastically decreased in the last 50 years. And it was because of the GMOs, because of the size and the growth rate that they were making it happen. And it said it had dropped 27% in iron, 37% in vitamin A, 21% in vitamin C. So I could list off all the statistics. You don't need to hear that. Some of you may. I'll send you the article if you do. But just know our food has drastically, those are huge percentages, to be able to consume that amount of food in a day, especially when most kids are super picky. We are really blessed that our children are not, because they have never had another choice, but they love fruits and vegetables. Most children do not. So Young Living has a supplement called multigreens, and it gets you all of the greens into your diet that you need for the day. It's a full serving of what you need. I just totally lost it on my page. But again, I'm an allergy house, so I will give you allergy warnings. Most people do not. If you have a shellfish or allergy, this does have spirulina in it, and most people have that connection, so do not take it. But if you do not, consume this all day long. This stuff is so good for you, and it's going to get all of that into your kids. And these greens support the immune cells and support a healthy gut function. So again, when those are on point, our kids are going to be up and fighting strong. I already covered vitamin D, which is in Omega Gies, but for the really, really little ones, there are really good. I have a couple brands from our functional health doctor that are just drops that I literally just put into our smoothies to make sure that we are getting ample amount of vitamin D every day. So if you need one not in pill form, message me and I will get you those brand names. Another thing that we take, or that we just keep on hand, this is something that we don't take every day. It's called MU Power. And as long as you're not allergic to the ingredient, which Sophia is, so she cannot consume this one, this is super good for your immune system. It has natural things that just support your immune system, essential oils and plants. It has wolfberries in it, which are a massive antioxidant, which help gather all those free radicals that cause havoc and disease in your body and gets rid of them. It has natural melatonin in it, which supports sleep, right? So you can give this to your kids. Most people give them only like a quarter of a tablet because it's a chewable. So you can cut it up and they just give like a quarter of it to their kids. This is something that we use because you can't use this every day. The bottle actually says you can't consume this every day, but because you shouldn't take melatonin every day if you did not know that. You can just chop it up and take it when your body needs it. This one is another one that is just like that. Oh my gosh, that's going to give your immune system a huge kick. And we just take it on those days we feel ick. Again, take it at night because it has melatonin in it, so it will make you super sleepy. So if you try to give this to your kids and send them to school, they're going to have a really, really rough day. It also has reishi mushrooms in it, which are, I'm not even going to go into that because it goes super scientific. Just Google that and why it's good for your immune system. Again, I'm not giving you full details on every single ingredient of all of these things because we would be here all day. Another essential oil that we use is MU Pro. So there's MU Power, MU Pro. I forgot to mention that one earlier. It has oregano and clove and Ravenstar and cumin in it, which now we have as a vitality oil as of this weekend, which is super exciting. So another thing we consume on the daily is called Ningxia Red. So it's our powerhouse superfood antioxidant drink, and it tastes amazing. If you've ever seen any Young Living people with these red drinks, that's exactly what it is. We take shots or we throw it in our smoothies, depends on how the day's going. If we're heading out, we don't always put shots or do shots. We just throw it in our morning smoothie and hit the road. But it's made of wolfberries, which are like the same family as a goji berry, and goji berry is like a hype word right now. Everyone's talking about how it's a superfood and how good it is for you because it is a super high antioxidant, and I mentioned antioxidants before. So I like to give people this picture when we're talking about antioxidants, is that there's a party going inside of your body, and there are all of these mates hooked up. They are happy, they are healthy, they are doing what they are supposed to do together. But then free radicals get introduced into our body, whether from the toxins in our home, from the pollution. Our body naturally makes free radicals. The older that we get, that's what makes us age, but it's also what causes disease. So those free radicals we don't want hanging out by themselves, but they're snotty little dudes who really, really want to mate and don't really care if this pair over here is happy. It's going to come steal it and take it away, which makes your body very, very, very unhappy. So when you take antioxidants, instead of it stealing it from these happy pairs, it just goes and finds its own mate from the antioxidant that you put in your body, pairs up with it, and is now happy and in love and does not wreak havoc on your body. So the more antioxidants we get, the better, because we are constantly being exposed, especially if you are not living a non-toxic lifestyle yet. But you literally, if you live in the city, walk outside and breathe in the air, and there's some more free radicals for you. So we cannot get away from all of the things. So we have to do the things that we can to eliminate the problem. So that is what Ningxia Red does. It also supports a healthy gut. Again, do you see the pattern here? It supports the healthy gut, which supports your immune system. Tastes amazing. And again, we're an allergy house. Sophia doesn't drink it because it's full of citrus. I make her own because we also sell the dried wolfberries, which we put in everything. And I just make her own stuff. So that is a fantastic one. And it also comes with 2 samples of it in the starter kit. And children, as long as they are consuming food, they are able to have Ningxia Red. So if you have little ones and you have not introduced solid food to them yet, don't give them Ningxia Red yet because their gut can't handle it. Okay, so we're going to talk just about basic nutrition for just a second, because a lot of people don't realize what our food is doing to our bodies. If your food has preservatives in it, or if it is super high in sugar or processed carbs, carbohydrates like rice, bread, pastas, those kind of things have a significant effect on our immune system. I posted the other day and someone was like, oh my gosh, I had no idea sugar did that to your immune system. If you drink a soda, I don't even know, those things have like 28 to 30 grams of sugar per can, something crazy like that. And that can actually shut down your immune system for like 4 hours. So think about it. If you're giving, and that goes for the sugary milks, if you're people who consume dairy, which we don't in this house, that's why I say if you are that person. A lot of kids drink flavored milk at lunch at school. Go look at that carton and see how much sugar is in there. These kind of things are just, our kids are just constantly exposed to. Candy seems to be a reward in school, and I don't really know why, because it one hurts their immune system, puts them on the sugar spike, then crashes them all in the classroom for the teacher to put up with. So limit it. I'm not saying to completely remove it, because life is short and we want to live it. So we live by the 90-10 rule. 90% of the time we eat amazingly healthy. The other 10%, it's your birthday, you're on vacation, whatever. You can consume whatever you want. Just do all the other things to offset it in the meantime. So make sure you are looking at the added sugars in your food. They're actually changing the food labeling, that they are having to add the amount of sugar that is in a product from added sugar, not natural ingredients, which is super awesome. Become a label reader if you're not one already. No. Always have a question. Okay, so you can start eating things like healthy grains. Rice isn't always bad. Rice is actually pretty good for you. I did a video on that a while back. Make sure you're getting a good brand and washing it, because a lot of them are full of arsenic, which is heavy metal, which destroys your body, your brain, and your immune system. But introduce things like quinoa, brown rice. Einkorn is a wheat. If you do eat wheat, that's another allergy in our house, so we do not know. Einkorn is an ancient grain. So wheat is one of the most GMO, if you don't know what a GMO, that means genetically modified plants on the planet. They have genetically modified that thing so much that our bodies actually cannot break it down properly. So what used to be 13 chromosome food is like 27 to 40 based on which strain you get, which means our body can't process that. Our gut can't process that. So a lot of people have a gluten intolerance, or actually just intolerant of either the pesticides on it or how drastically they have changed it. So a lot of people can have einkorn, and einkorn still has all those vitamins and minerals in it. because again, it hasn't been genetically modified. People used to live on bread. Literally, that would be like a meal because it had a lot of the vital minerals and vitamins that your body needed. So try out einkorn. Young Living has it. All the natural food stores have it. Start introducing that and make sure you're consuming enough protein. A lot of Americans consume too much protein, which causes a whole other host of issues. And remember, you don't have to get protein from meat. I am 90% vegan by choice and by health. That's fine. And you don't have to, it doesn't always have to be meat, because sometimes some people don't like it. I don't like it. My oldest daughter doesn't really like it. But make sure you look up your age and see how much you should be eating. Basically, a really good test is the palm of your hand. This is how much protein, meat-wise, you should be consuming in one meal. A lot of adults consume double that, right? So take that into account. Look at how much protein per gram. There's an awesome app called MyFitnessPal that you can see a lot of your nutrients, your protein in your intakes if you want to really get to that level and start really paying attention to that. But just basically you want to eat the rainbow. So 90% of your diet should be fruits and vegetables, and then add in the other starches and meat and whatever on the side of it. But we tell people, eat the rainbow. You want to eat a vast color of vegetables. My kids love to eat purple carrots, which I know Victoria's on her little one can't have carrots, but fun foods and fun colors kids love to eat. And the more you let them help prepare, the more they're going to eat it because they made it. So stay hydrated. We live in, those of us in America, live in a first world country that nobody should be dehydrated. And I forgot the statistic, it's like 85% of Americans are actually dehydrated because they don't drink enough water throughout the day. It's based on your body weight, but there was that gallon jug challenge going around for a long time. I don't even remember that. It had the lines on it and people were promoting hydration because your body does not function. Your immune system does not function. Your heart, your brain, none of this functions properly without proper hydration. And especially for kids, a lot of kids hate drinking water. So again, Young Living comes into play. Add some of our citrus vitality oils in there, make it taste delicious. They're going to drink it all day long. Victoria, she's on here. Her little one calls it lemonade because she puts jade lemon in it and he thinks it's lemonade. No sugar, tastes amazing, gets him to drink it. So get the hydration going. Get them a stainless steel water bottle to take to school so they can constantly have water, and good water. If you're in the city, please don't drink the tap water, filter it. It's a whole other class, whole other day. So I know a lot of you might have supplements at home, and I've told you a lot of names of Young Living, and I'm going to tell you the difference really quick between other supplement brands, especially if you buy them from like the supermarket, and Young Living. So it's bioavailability. Some people have no idea what that word means, which means that is how much you are taking and actually absorbing of the supplements that you are taking. A lot of companies out there put a lot of junk in them that make them not so bioavailable, and also the way that they process them breaks down the chain so your body does not absorb it properly. Young Living adds in essential oils to all of our supplements. Not only just because we are an essential oil company, but we have done tests, and there have been tons of tests done proving that essential oil actually increases the bioavailability of the supplements, which means when it is paired with essential oils in that same supplement, you are actually going to absorb more of it. So we did a test on multigreens. That was that green supplement I talked about earlier. And there was a 42% absorption rate within 24 hours of the nutrients of it by itself. When we added in the essential oils, the blood absorption rate increased to 64% in 30 minutes and 86% in an hour. So it doubled in an hour what it did in 24 hours before you put essential oils in it. So that means all of that stuff you're intaking is not just getting peed out. So when your body doesn't absorb it, you're literally just wasting your money because your body just expels it and there it goes. It can't store it for later. It has to absorb it right when you are taking it. So some other key vitamins to get your kids on is something called Mighty Vites. We have a whole line of things for kids. That is their daily, just basic, like multivitamin. It tastes really good. Most kids absolutely love it. You actually have to hide it. You have to hide most of our supplements from little kids because they think it's candy because it's flavored with essential oils and amazing tasting plants that they actually just want to keep eating it. But their tummies are not going to like that. So don't let them continue to eat it. We also do Mighty Zyme. So I didn't touch on enzymes when we talked about gut health. So when our gut is inflamed and it is off and just not functioning to its full ability, we are not breaking down our food properly, and that's why we are not absorbing a lot of our nutrients on top of all the other reasons I already mentioned. So when you consume an enzyme, it helps your body start to break down all of the food that is in your stomach. So it makes you be able to absorb it better because it's actually breaking down while it's in there instead of just passing out before it is all broken down and fully absorbed. So Mighty Zyme is the kids' version of that. We have 4 different versions for adults. So if you have a lot of gut issues and feel like you have some deficiencies going on, you should definitely be on an enzyme. I have to take one with every meal because my gut health is so off, so off. So those are 2 that you definitely want to get on. Okay, let's talk about sleep. I know for us mamas, especially if you have real little ones, we do not get the amount of sleep your body needs to fully sustain, but this is a season and you should do all the things you can to get more sleep. But in reality, that's just not a thing. But when we started introducing essential oils to our kids, oh my gosh, it changed the sleep game. My youngest was not sleeping at all. She has a lot of food allergies, had a lot of health issues, and she was just a hot flippin' mess when she was up until she was like 2.5. It took us that long to figure everything out. So she was just not sleeping. But once we found the right essential oil combo for her, she started sleeping through the night. And y'all, if you're a mom with a kid who doesn't sleep through the night yet and should be, it's a game changer because you're going to start getting sleep, which means you're not adrenal fatigue, which means you are not constantly running on adrenaline and cortisol and feeling like crap. So it's going to benefit all the people. So we use so many different essential oils for sleep, but we are going to just talk about a few of them. But let's first talk about what it looks like to have healthy sleep. So everybody is different. Every age range is different. The doctors put out a really good chart for the amount of sleep your kids should get throughout the day. And you really should be going for that, whether it's fully through the night or naps throughout the day combined. Look at the chart, find out where your kids should be, and make sure their bedtime is appropriate. A lot of kids stay up way too late because it's fun and they want to stay up, but it's not conducive to their health, their mental, or their immune system. So set that bedtime and find that range so your kids are getting that adequate amount of sleep, because that's when the body restores. And especially for your little kids they're still growing, right? They're rapidly growing if they're like mine, nonstop. And at night is when the body restores, re-energizes the organs and puts everything back into balance. So they need to get an adequate amount of sleep. And when they are stressed out, especially when school is starting, everything's changing. They have a new teacher, they have new friends in their class, maybe a whole new school. Things can be super, super stressful. So they are not getting the sleep because we all know as adults, when we're stressed out, we just lay there at night awake. There's oil for that. There's many oils for that. There's also CBD for that. That's a whole other class, but we use that as well. But for essential oils, we use lavender for half of our house. So my daughter youngest has a genetic mutation that actually makes lavender make her hyper. Took us a little while to figure that out. That's why when I said we found the right combo for her to sleep, it's because most of the relaxing blends out there all have lavender in them. So we have to singly make hers. But lavender for most people is just calming, relaxing. Smell it, put it in the diffuser, rub it on your feet, make a little spray for your pillow, for your kids' pillows, spray the room if they don't have a diffuser, and just create this calm, peaceful environment for them. Some other things are peace and calming. That is a phenomenal one because that is emotional support as well. We know as kids are hormonally changing, there's a lot of emotional stress. We'll go with that. It's also really good for those night terrors. So if your kids are having constant bad dreams, this essential oil actually helps to balance those emotions out to help them sleep better throughout the night. Frankincense is another one. We like to say frank is like more of like a deep sleep. This is one that my youngest uses because she can't use lavender, and this one is just calming. So many good benefits to this. And again, I said it was good for the immune system, right? So you're boosting the immune system, you're helping overall health, you're getting them to calm down and to go to sleep. Some others are stress away. Every mama in this world needs some stress away for us and for our children. It helps those meltdowns and those emotional days where we're just all like blah. We put it in the diffuser, we rub it on our bodies, we sit and cup and smell it for a while and just calm the emotions down. Valor is also a really, really good one too because it has vetiver in it, and vetiver is amazing for sleep. So putting Valor is just another awesome oil to put in. Again, I could list about 50 other oils you could use. We're just going to go over those ones because those are a few, especially if you're on Young Living, we know you have in your house. So as we're talking about sleep and emotional support, I'd like to touch on this time of year focus because I don't know about y'all, but my kids, they have never been diagnosed with anything. They're just children. Children are hyper. I call them squirrel. They're over here focusing, and oh shoot, over here, there's this thing I need to look at and I need to start talking about. This happens in the classroom too. I see it because I homeschool, so I see that pattern for my kids and their lack of focus. But this happens for a lot of kids out there, and a lot of kids are hyper and don't like to sit still for that long. So you can use essential oils to help their brain to focus and their body to calm down, so that they can actually do their homework or do their schoolwork. Again, you can put these things on their bracelets. If their teacher lets them bring a roller ball, especially if the teacher starts seeing the impact that these essential oils have on their focus and their emotional state, most of them are all for it. But some of these are stress away. Again, we love to combine stress away and lavender because it just calms. It calms all the emotions in the brain down so it can focus. Citrus fresh and peppermint, also an amazing combo because all citruses brighten, happy mood, uplift, and then peppermint is super good for brain focus. So when you pair those together, it just brings a beautiful balance together. Again, I talked about vetiver for sleep, but it's also fantastic for focus. So that's also in Valor. You can buy it singly. We like to combine vetiver, lavender, and cedarwood for our focus blend. What else do we like to use? Oh, Genius. That's another one of our kids' oils. For any child who is hyperactive, this is a must-have oil. The amount of kids' lives I have seen this as a game changer is more than I can tell you compliantly right now. Just know if your kid or you know any kids who have major attention issues because they're bouncing off the walls or their mind is going, Genius is fantastic for them. And peace and calming again. Peace and calming with peppermint. Fantastic combo to calm, focus the brain. Peppermint alone, just breathing it. I could go on and on. We're just going to stick with those. Those are awesome oils. Okay, the last topic we're going to talk about is removing toxins from your home. So if you've been on my page for a while, or if you're actually on our team, you know toxic-free living is my thing. And I mentioned in the beginning, part of our story, that's how we started. And it's for multiple reasons. One, it causes massive health issues, but the toxins in our homes and in our environment that we're consuming on pesticides and food actually have a significant impact on our immune system. There are tons of studies out there that are showing what these are doing to, one, your gut health, reducing that gut flora, and two, just immune compromising people. And it makes those at risk who are already at higher risk, which is already small children, babies, and the elderly or the immune compromised, it is increasing their likelihood of getting all of this junk that goes around, or bad diseases on top of it. So immune suppression is a huge thing and can lead to just a dwindling spiral of things. So starting to focus on the ingredients in your house and knowing what's in your products and on your food. Wash your food. If you can't afford to buy organic, we have a fruit and veggie wash that pulls all kinds of stuff off of your food. But a huge portion of people don't know this stuff. We had no idea until we started researching it, because all of these things do something called body burden. So this I touched hugely on in the toxic free class, but body burden is basically our body is constantly having these chemicals, these toxins put into ours that our body is not supposed to have in there. Our liver and our kidneys are always functioning on high, trying to filter that stuff out. But the more we put on, the more our body is just compiling it, because our liver and our kidneys can't get all of it out. Some things it literally can't get out at all, but it puts these things on high function. And I like to make you picture a cup. So for example, your home cleaners, your shampoos, your conditioners, your makeup, all of those are full of toxins, unless you are already buying them from a healthy, clean company or Young Living. Those are full of a lot of toxins that are really, really bad. They either cause cancer, endocrine disruptors, hormonal changes, sleep disruption, all kinds of things. You just have to be diligent in reading them and understanding. But I like to show it as a cup, because a lot of people are like, I use these things every day and I'm totally fine. But how many people do we know who were totally fine and now are not? Because I picture this cup. There's this cup in your body, and you're putting all these things in. Some get in the cup, some get over here, get filtered out by your body. But as time goes, that cup keeps filling and filling and filling. And when it hits that top is when you know those people are like, oh my gosh, overnight just something is wrong. Because that body burden is so high. There is such a compiled amount of toxins in your body that are combining with each other, and just going to start wreaking havoc. So we have to do the things to remove them. Again, I said earlier, we cannot control all of this. We can control what we put on our bodies, in our bodies, and bring into our home. That is it. And not even all of what is in our home. Our carpets that's a whole other class. We're not even going to go there. Just know that a lot of these toxins are suppressing your immune system. So they are, there was a study done on influenza that, I forget the exact toxin that they were exposing them to, but it increased the influenza and it made it last even longer just by inhaling that toxin. And a lot of these toxins we're inhaling because they're in our sprays and in all the things. So be mindful of ingredients. Start being an ingredient reader. I think I've already said that a couple times. But start removing those toxins and getting all of these essential oils and these supplements to start balancing these systems out and to boost your immune system. Because unless your kid has a severe immune deficiency, which my youngest does, and she still rarely gets sick, she is massively immune compromised. And I don't worry about her because we do all of these things to make sure her body is as on point as we can get it right now, as we are healing through some other things. But for those of you, I know a lot of you already have your starter kits, but the perfect way to start, because I think 90% of the oils I talked about today is in Young Living Starter Kit, which we're just going to go over for a second for those of you who don't know what. So Young Living has a couple different starter kits, but the essential oil one is amazing because it has a lot of those oils I talked about for the sleep, for the immune, and it comes with the diffuser. And then you get a wholesale account, so you can go buy all the other things that we started talking about to start slowly implementing. We know a lot of people don't have all the money to go buy all of these things all at once, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But for the starter kit for essential oils, it is a phenomenal deal because you get, I think it breaks down to like $320 worth of product for $160. Y'all, that's more than half off. That is huge. And what comes in it is 12 essential oils, and I'm pretty sure I talked about most of them. So you get lavender, citrus fresh, digize, raven, panaway I didn't talk about. That's for minor discomfort, aches and pains. Peppermint, frankincense, thieves, lemon, valor, stress away, peace and calming. I talked about all of those except for one. You get that, all of those oils, plus a diffuser. There's 2 diffusers that come with the 160 price, or you can upgrade to some beautiful diffusers. But we have awesome diffusers that are warranted and are specific to diffuse therapeutic oils, so it doesn't heat them up and it doesn't destroy their chemical makeup, to disperse correctly into the air. The other beautiful thing is that you get a wholesale account into Young Living. So as we were talking about all of these things, we teach people to slowly start implementing them. Unless you have the money, go for it now. Buy both the starter kits to start detoxing your house and introducing the essential oils. But we know as moms, a lot of us are on a budget. So do what your family can. Get the starter kit, which gets you the wholesale account. You get all of those oils, which I just said all of those cover. One of those covers everything we just talked about. You get a diffuser. You can buy more diffusers, because when you become an oil obsessed person like we are, which is a good thing to be, we have a diffuser in every house of our room, or every room of our house. I got a little dyslexic there for a second. So you can always add on things. But this kit gives you the wholesale account, which is 24% off everything in Young Living. And Young Living has over 650 different products. We're not just an essential oil company, we're a healthy lifestyle. So we have every product you need, including your makeup, all the things to detox your house and start making healthy ingredients. And Young Living makes it simple. We have the starter kit, which I told you the massive discount you get on that. It's over half off when you buy it in the kit. And you get the wholesale account. So we do something called Essential Rewards. It is not obligated, but as you just heard everything, there's a lot of things you are going to want to start switching and start removing. So we teach you to transfer buy. What you are buying at Target or King Soopers or Amazon, wherever you buy your household items, you just take that budget and bring it over to Young Living. So we do something called Essential Rewards, which is a phenomenal program. We get so much free product. It's just amazing sometimes. I'll get my order for the month and I'm like, look at all of this free stuff, plus all of this points I have accumulated. So Essential Rewards, we basically pay you for using Young Living. For the first 3 months you're on the program, you just have to spend 50 PV a month. But when you're really starting to implement things, you'll find your budget goes way higher than that. We do, our entire house is Young Living. We don't buy anything but food from the grocery store. So we spend quite a bit at Young Living, but we get a ton in return. There is a monthly promo on top of it. So every month there's promotions based on 100, 192, 50, and 300 levels you spend. When you hit that 300 level, the amount of free product you get is almost equivalent to the amount that you spent. So most of the time you get about $250 worth of free product on top of getting your ER points. So your ER points get accumulated in an account in Young Living for when you buy products. So when you are going in and buying, the essential oils, the supplements, all the stuff to start detoxing your house, they pay you for it. They pay you in points. So it gets accrued into this account called we call it ER. So if you ever hear that term, you're like, okay, it's not the ER you go to, it's Essential Rewards. For the first 1 to 3 months, you get 10% back. For 3 to 24 months, you get 20% back of every dollar you spend. And after 24 months, you get 25%, which, y'all, that is huge. That's what we're on now. And we have a couple $100s to spend on free product every few months. And I like to rack it up, and then I just go do this huge bulk order because I love to see it come in. On top of the free stuff I get with my monthly order, I love to see that huge box of stuff come in with all of the stuff I didn't have to pay for. So a huge portion of the stuff in my house I never actually paid for, which is super awesome. So that is the perfect way to get started. And you can, if you're new to enrolling, you can actually use your starter kit as your first month of essential rewards, and you'll get the 100 PV for this month, which I think is citrus fresh. I think that's what it is. I forget. It changes every month. But besides the point, you get something free. And then you get a one-on-one meeting with me for those of you who are showing up and on the replay who are not part of our team yet. Whoever invited you or myself, we sit down with you, we go over the kit. We have a ton more classes. We are massive education. And we sit down with your family and tell you, okay, look at the needs for your family, and here's how you can use what you bought. And here are some few things you should put on your next Essential Rewards order to get into your home to start using to support all of those other systems. I don't know if y'all can hear them, but they're like wrestling in there and they're losing their minds. So if you have not got started yet and you want to get started with Young Living, I would love to help you. So just comment below, me, this is for me, whatever you want, raise your hand. I will shoot a message over you and we will connect and we will get started. If you're already in Young Living and not on Essential Rewards, let's get you on there so we can start your transfer buying so you can get a lot of these products and accumulate those points to get more free products to help your family's health. Just comment below ER and I will shoot you a message with some tips and some details on how to get started with that. It's super easy and it's actually free to start. All you gotta do is place your order. And I would love to help you all. So thank you all for joining in this class today. Again, if you have any questions throughout any of that, feel free to PM me if you don't want to put it in the comments, but comment away. I know a lot of you are coming on this replay over the next couple of days because some of y'all are working and it's back to school week and things are a little hectic. So those of you who joined live, thank you so much for coming on live. I love when there's actual people in the comments and interacting with me. And I just am super excited for you all to start this journey because it has drastically changed our lives, and everyone you know on here has seen it too. So we want you to be there, and it's step by step, and we will walk you through it. It does not have to be a scary thing because you get us and our team and all of our amazing resources. So for now, goodbye, and we will see and talk to all of you later. Bye.